So putting this on around the water pump, you know, is kind of like lying to your wife about how many car parts that you just bought. You just lay it on thick, just nice and thick like that. Again, rolling dice. I'm on a little journey right now, 2-hour trip to get another short block for Gary. First one I don't think is going to work out so well. I don't know what's wrong with it. I really don't care. It's definitely something in the crank. I don't know, maybe it's the main bearings. I don't even care. I'm not going to mess with it. I don't want to figure out what's wrong with it because I'm not going to fix what's wrong with it. I'm just getting a different short block and being done with it. So, a few days before Christmas right now, 4-hour round trip ahead of me. Going to pick up a different short block. The guy I'm buying it from actually sent me a little video of it. He rotated it over by hand. Seems legit. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Hey, welcome back everybody to MCL. It's a few days before Christmas. I just picked up another short block yesterday. And where we left off on the last video was, this is making some mysterious ticking noise when I rotate it over. It's got to do something with the crankshaft. I haven't really dug into it to figure it out because there is something wrong. I know that for sure. And I don't want to dig into it and figure out what's wrong with it because I ain't going to fix it anyway. But what I did end up doing is I bought brand new standard rod bearings for it. I put those in. It still ticks when you crank it over. I don't know. I'm done with it. So I bought this one yesterday. It seems legit. The guy I bought it from. It's a standard bore. There's absolutely no ring ridge on it at all. So we are going to roll the dice on that one and see what happens. And there isn't a whole lot from this to transfer over to that. Maybe just the roller lifters. But otherwise, this thing will probably just go in the scrap bin. I might take the new bearings back out of here and put in there just because I bought them. Might as well use them. So that's where we're at. Went ahead and bought myself a little Christmas present. Let's take a look at this. I've been wanting one of these for a while. Again, bought off of Amazon. Comes with a nice little baggie. You get your charger, battery, and here's your ratchet. Again, I will leave a link in the description for this. You'll see, you'll see what it's all about. You'll see the description on it and the specs and how much I paid. It was a pretty good deal, so I've been wanting one for a while, so I just pulled the trigger and went ahead and just got it. A little Christmas present for myself. Okay, boys and girls, here is our second haul from Amazon. And I decided to go with that short block that I have. I'm going to throw some of these super cheap rod bearings in it and see if it works. If it doesn't, whatever. These are only like 20 bucks, so I'm only out like 20 bucks. I'll have to then look for a new short block, but that's the route I'm taking, is I'm throwing these rod bearings in. Next we have, and this is kind of funny, a stack of 10 carb gaskets. I only need 2, but it turns out if you buy 2 gaskets, it costs more than if you buy a pack of 10. So I have 10 gaskets. I don't know, maybe my brother can use some for stuff he's got. More than likely I'll probably screw one up and good thing I'll have 10. I don't know, whatever, but there's that. In this lovely box is oil pump. Comes with little gaskets, whatever. So this is the oil pump I'll need for that, and I went with a standard volume, just cheaper. It doesn't need to be a high volume pump. This will work. It'll get the job done. Next we have a throttle cable bracket. Again, Chinese made, super cheap. That's the only reason I got this, because it was super cheap and I need a bracket anyway. So might as well get this fancy looking thing. I know most of you guys have probably seen this setup before. Bolts to the carb studs here. This goes to the linkage. This goes on here or something. This is adjustable for the linkage to come in. So I need a throttle cable bracket anyway. So instead of going with the factory one, I just flipped a $20 bill and got this thing, and it should work. Next up is the pickup tube. I knew that truck pickup tube wasn't going to work. So again, this was super cheap. This fits a Fox body Mustang pan. I know everything's gonna work. My spacing from here to the bottom of the pan is gonna be right. I know everything's gonna be right, so that's why I got that. So up next, I got a water pump. The one that's on that truck motor may have worked, may not have worked, may have leaked, may have had a bad bearing. Who knows? Like I said, that motor was free. I don't know anything about that engine. I mean, look at the way the rods are. So it's got to have some miles on it. So this again, pretty cheap, brand new. You know, all my fittings out here look a lot nicer than the one that's on there. So yeah, just again, just know that I have good parts on there and it's gonna work decent. And lastly, since I found a cheap overhaul kit at my father's, hopefully the head gaskets hold up, I decided to use that extra money and get a decent pan gasket. This is like the rubber style. I believe it has like the metal inserts in it. It's a one piece. I really don't want that oil pan leaking all over the world, so I thought this would be the best way to go. Here's the part number. And again, I will leave the Amazon links to everything that's here. You can click on it, see what I paid, and go ahead and purchase it if you want. Like I said, all this stuff is pretty cheap, so it's just going to be a good peace of mind to know that I have, you know, especially an oil pump, good oil pump on it, the right pickup tube, decent water pump to keep the thing cool. Don't want to go through all this work and then just fry it or whatever. So I think this is all worth the money. So go ahead and check out those links and go ahead and purchase some of that stuff if you think it's a pretty good deal. So threw this back together, threw the oil pump and pickup tube and stuff back on the bottom, threw just a few bolts in there. So it's going to be out with the junk and in with the hopefully lesser junk. This one again, of course, is a mystery motor. The guy wasn't exactly sure the history on it. Physically, I mean visually, just looking at it, it seems to be in a lot better condition than this one. This chain, if I didn't have already ordered a new chain, I probably would reuse this one. This isn't bad at all. It seems pretty tight. And like I said, there's no ring ridge in here, no carbon buildup, nothing like that. Standard bore. I'm going to throw it up on the stand here, flip it over and put these new bearings in. I'm guessing it's probably a standard crank. So this thing will go to the scrapyard. Check out these posters on my father's door here. Cruise to the Woods, as you can see. This one's 2018, 2019. This top one doesn't have a date on it, but he's got a couple more over here. 2021, 2020. Our family's been going to Cruise of the Woods, I think dating back to the 90s, I think late 90s. I did a video on it. Leave it in the description. You guys go ahead and check it out. It's the biggest car cruise in the Midwest. Lots of classic cars. I think the video is close to an hour long. So that's something you're interested, go ahead and check that out. So I've decided to not put the new bearings in. It'll be fine. No worries. So we're just gonna slap on the new oil pump, new pickup tube here. And, you know, am I going to check the clearance from this to the pan? Nope, absolutely not. More gambling. I'm a gambling man now, I guess so. We're going to slap that on next. So there you have it, all the oil pump and pickup tubes all on. I ordered a new timing chain set for that other short block because it was really bad. This one is actually really good. I might reuse this, seeing as the new timing chain has not come in yet. I have not received it, and if I get to that point, putting a new cam and stuff in, I'm just going to reuse this one, and I'm not going to wait around for the other one, so I can keep this this train rolling. That looks like somebody's been in here, pulled the timing chain off. The bolt was loose and there's no plate on here. So somebody's been in here messing around. Good thing I kept the plate off the old short block. We can throw that on. And if anybody knows what this is, it was on the cam gear. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what that thing is. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it back on or what, but I don't want it to hit the timing chain cover from the old engine, because the other engine didn't have this. So I don't know, whatever. So we're going to pull this cam out and see what's going on in there. Somebody's definitely been in here messing around. This front cam bearing is all beat up, especially down here by the oil hole. So, you know, the best thing to do is go ahead and just, you know, sand it with a little, I don't even know what grit this is. A little piece of sandpaper, sand off the tight spots. And I put that old cam back in here. It spins pretty good. There's no tight spot or anything when it spins. So yeah, that's a little pro tip for you there. Just go ahead and sand right on that bearing. This is the cam I'll be using. Here's the cam card. It's a 220 duration at 50 with a 498 lift. Going to use the stock springs on these heads, so as long as I'm under 500 lift, I'll be fine. And this is the correct box for this cam, but this cam, I don't know, it's kind of rough on the end here. I must have bought this at a swap meet or something, because it's never been used, but it's got a little bit of rust on the end of this cam journal down here. We're going to clean that up a little bit, but otherwise it looks pretty good. Here's the little dowels to put in the front. And if anybody knows what this is, what exactly is this? It was in the box. I'm not sure what that's for. So yeah, we're going to clean up this journal on the end here. A little bit right there. It'll be fine. Little sandpaper job again, and runner. So I gotta say, this actually turned out even better than I thought it was going to. Polished her up, looks pretty good. I mean, it's still a little dark in the one spot, but it's really smooth. Don't feel anything. The rest of the cam, Looks really good. I don't know when I got this cam. I don't know where I got it. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. I know I've had it forever, been sitting on the shelf, and so we're gonna stick it in and see how it spins here. So I did double check numbers and stuff on the end of the cam, and it's hard for the camera to pick it up, but this number right here stamped in, it is the cam for that box and for the spec paper, so I just want to make sure this was the right cam. I'm going to put this in with no lube just to see how it feels. Make sure everything is just hunky-dory, you know, going to get Dory involved. And then I'll pull it back out, put some lube on her, and put it in its permanent home. So yeah, I'm pretty surprised. It spins pretty smoothly. So I think we're just going to run her, throw that dowel in there, lube her up, and slam it in. All right, welcome back to day 2. Just got in from watching the Vikings get their butt whooped. Big surprise. It is Christmas Eve. And we're back at this here. You can see how the front, I cleaned it as much as I could for right now. And as you see, it's going to have to be wiped down quite a bit more for it to hold some paint. But this gasket area looks pretty good. So we're going to throw the timing chain on it and cover and see if we can get this front all buttoned up and then tackle the oil pan, and it'll be well on its way. So if you ever need to clean a whole bunch of little bolts, don't take them to a wire wheel. Throw them in an old water bottle, poke some holes in the bottom, and take it to the blaster. Much quicker. Got all my fancy new bolts here in the sack. Look at that. Just like brand spanking new. So I get to break open my cheesy gasket set that I found on my father's shelf. Probably, 20 years old. Gonna need the seal for the front and water pump gasket or timing chain gasket would be this guy, I believe. And then you can see around the port, it's pretty gnarly around this one here, so we're gonna have to put a lot of goop on there, make sure that seals up. Same way with the timing chain cover, it's pretty rough on both of them. So, we'll goop her up and roll the dice once again. Oh, what do you think? Yes? No? Maybe? I guess we're going to find out the hard way. So putting this on around the water pump, is kind of like lying to your wife about how many car parts that you just bought. You just lay it on thick. Just nice and thick like that. Again, rolling dice. Oh, look at there. We got pins in this and we got pins in that. So I think we're gonna have to change that out. Put some bolts in here with spacer just so this gasket sets up, because I'm not gonna paint the water pump the same as the engine. So I left it off, got the harmonic balancer put on. You can see it's all nice and then bead blasted, all nice and pretty. And surprisingly, it's actually right on zero. The rubber held up over these years. It didn't spin or anything, so at least I know my timing's gonna be right. So I think I got this pan good enough to put on and use. It's not perfect. These rails I cleaned up just real quick on the wire wheel. It's still a little grody inside here, but actually 3 out of 5 mechanics recommend that an engine has a little bit of gunk and stuff in here, some rust, to chew on. It's kind of like fiber for an engine. You got to have some fiber. So I think Gary will be just fine. Gary will eat that right up in his old age. That's not gonna bother him at all. So we're gonna go ahead and put our fancy gasket on here. And I got this, because I'm sure I'm gonna have to pull this pan off, 3-4 times, whatever. Especially I didn't put the new bearings in, so we're gonna go through all this work and put it in, and it's gonna need bearings. It's gonna tick or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy this because I'm pretty sure we'll be taking it off again. I'm starting to wonder about this gasket. Actually, this might be a little too nice for Gary. I'm used to the cork garbage with the rubber on the ends and it leaks all over. That's kind of what would be more for this engine, I think, is the leaky gasket and have oil running all over. This just seems, I don't know, it just seems a little too nice. But I don't know, I guess I won't return it. We'll use it, why not, whatever. And like I said, I'm probably going to need it because I'll probably take this pan off 3-4 times in its life. So we'll see how this works out. This seems like it's, I don't know. Seems like it's going to be fine, maybe. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Boy, that front is pretty tight right there. And probably going to have to take these things out, I guess, I don't know, to put the rails on. I did clean the outside of this pan a little bit, mostly around the edges here so I can put the rails on and bolt it on. But then later on, I'll go ahead and clean it a lot better so I can paint it and it'll hold paint. I have my doubts on this whole engine holding any paint for very long, but you know, it'll look good for first week or so. Oh, look at that. We can screw these down a little bit. That's just going to work out just fantastic. And of course, our nice blasted up bolts. Well, I think that's going to do it for day 2 here. Got a few things done. It's coming along. It almost somewhat resembles an engine. I started cleaning up the lifters and stuff like that. I'll finish it tomorrow, and with a little luck, maybe I'll get the cylinder heads on. Got a lot more cleaning to do on the block, that's for sure. It's really dirty down here. The pan needs a little bit more cleaning. But like I said, it's kind of looking like an engine, sort of, kind of. So yeah, do a little bit more cleaning before I put the heads on. And tomorrow I'll definitely get the lifters and this spider thing they call it to hold the lifters on and get that in. And yeah, coming along. Hello, and welcome to day 3. I don't think we're going to be doing a whole lot today. I have all the lifters cleaned up. We're just going to lube them up, slap them on, put this spider, whatever retainer thing in. Not sure if I'm going to put the heads on or not. My brother did find the valve covers that I've been looking for like a month now. So going to dig those out, take them to work, blast them up, and get those looking all nice and pretty. So another little pro tip from you, if you got even a paint can, but a brake clean parts can that's got some in it, but it just doesn't have enough pressure in it, you know, you go ahead and stick your air hose in there, push down on both of them, just give this one just a little squirt. Look at that, boom. So a lot of this stuff is coming out of that F-150 engine that didn't turn out to be usable. And a lot of it was pretty grody. Like this thing was just caked full. Took quite a while to clean these lifters off. So whoever had that engine didn't take care of it, obviously, because, you know, it has something wrong with the crank. We're going to throw this on there and we'll, I think we're going to call a short block done for now. go ahead and see if we can find those valve covers. Should be 2 sets. My brother said he's seen them back here somewhere. I can hear it raining on the tin roof. It's actually Christmas Day, and we're not celebrating Christmas today because my youngest daughter is really sick, so she is not here. She is at her mother's trying to get better. And, oh, here they are. And so, yeah, we'll be doing Christmas a week from today. So, Merry Christmas to everyone. There's a set. Here's another set. So we'll figure out what is the best 2 out of these and blast them up, clean them. Look at there, I just discovered. That'll be a starter for small block Ford. We'll be using that too. So out of the 4, I think I'm going to go with this guy here and this one. This one looks like it's going to be pretty pitted up, so we're going to skip that one. These 2 are pretty similar in condition. So I don't know. I'm just going to go with these 2 here, I guess. And but I did discover this little gem on one of them. So, you know, this clips in the top of there, but I thought if I wanted to, I could do, you know, put this on the valve cover and then do something like this. You know, could have one of those on each side. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. Thanks everybody for watching. Check out the other 2 previous videos on the series. There's going to be a lot more coming. We're going to try to get Gary going. Hopefully this heart works. I don't know. Gary's a basket case, so we're going to put a basket case in his engine bay. We'll see how it goes. You guys follow along and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.